Tales from the wild. Stories from the heart. A journey into the mind and soul of fired-up business professionals where they share their vision for the future. And hear from a different non-profit organization every month as they create awareness of their goals and their needs. Dive into a world of untamed passion as we join our host, Shireen for this month's episode of Friends from Wild Places.
So, back to you, Terri. With you being a business owner, an entrepreneur, someone that has paved the way for an area that was not there before you, I think it's important to chat about, what was the biggest struggle you faced as an entrepreneur in this journey of being a grief companion, having your own business, going with that. What was one of your biggest challenges and how did you get over it?
Probably the biggest was just getting my name out there, getting people to know who I was, to hear my story. And it's really easy to give up if you don't see traction really early on. And I think that probably happens more often than not. And I just was determined that that wasn't going to happen to me. So I seriously have shown up I really built my business on social media. I didn't do any paid marketing, but it took intention and hard work, and I had to show up every single day and talk about it. And that's people started recognizing when you saw my face or my curly gray hair. That's normally what people will recognize me for. Oh, I recognize you. My husband and I go out to dinner and this happens to us frequently. They're like, I know you. Oh, you're that grief lady. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they're like, oh, it's the hair. I'll never forget your hair. Thank you. I don't know if that's a thank you or not, but so it was really getting people to like building that know, like, and trust factor, I guess. So consistency is key. Like you can't just start putting yourself out there trying to build a business, show up for yourself for a month or 2 months and then say, well, nobody's buying anything, nobody's signing up for anything, no one's following me, and call it quits. Because I can tell you it has taken all these years where I'm like, I feel like my business is doing wonderful. I feel like I'm touching the lives that I want to touch. I'm reaching the people that I want to reach, and I'm making the impact that I want to make. But it took showing up every single day and vulnerability, speaking from my heart, like really sharing what's on my heart and being authentic to me. That's part of what we just talked about with, Tanya bringing up the funeral profession thing. I didn't talk about that. It's only been recently that I've talked about that. And I want to probably say with her, have I talked about it publicly? Because I didn't want anybody to, I didn't want to point fingers, or it just wasn't something I wasn't comfortable talking about. But the more I learn about the way things should be and the way they can be and the way they are in some places, the more I realize, okay, I do need to talk about this because it does need to change everywhere. It's not okay for there to even still be one location that doesn't treat people with compassion, that treats those in grief like a transaction. And no one should have to go through those experiences. In today's world, there's too much accessible to us to learn about what to say and what not to say. And so just being authentically myself, showing up every single day, sharing my story openly. And I always say I show up messy. I don't care. I just show up. If I am having a bad day, I've got some videos out there with not looking my best. But that's okay. It's like I still showed up and I still shared my story. And I think people resonate with that. They resonate with the fact that um I get it. And I feel like for the longest time I couldn't say. I got asked one time early on, what makes you the perfect person to do this? And I struggled with that. Like, who am I to be doing this? What does make me? But I can answer that wholeheartedly now. And it's my lived experience that makes me the perfect person. I have the education. I've learned all of the things. I've read lots of books. I have like the book knowledge, but it's my lived experience that gives me the true empathy that resonates with other people when they sit down with me and I'm holding space for their grief. You can't fake that. You can't make that up. It's either you have it or you don't. And I feel like those of us who've had the lived experience um, have a greater ability to do that than others.
Mm.
And that Terry, I think again, it goes back to, even within the funeral profession, death care space of people, choosing, or it chose them to be amongst people who are grieving or, with loss, working in funeral home settings. It's like no one truly can hold a candle to you because they can go through the textbooks, they can get licensed, they can take their CEUs, but when you share your story, especially with funeral professionals, so if somebody challenges you to say, where are you coming from? What do you have? I mean, you have your story, and that to me is your golden ticket to anyone that wants to listen. Really, you know what I mean? Because that is like one area. I just wanted to, if you could share just a little bit as far as, so I know, I hear you have your website, you do a lot of your writing, and you have a lot of areas that people can get. Can you just kind of summarize, for example, as far as your materials out there? So if people are interested in learning more, as far as just what area can they, seek out, whether it's articles, or where can they find what you're currently working on?
Sure. Yeah. Well, my Healing Hearts community is pretty much the hub of everything that I do. So that's where you'll find, and it is myhealingheartscommunity.com. You'll find all of the grief support that I offer, all of the free resources that I offer, because I offer free resources for grief support, coping and healing after loss. I have a free understanding grief mini course that you can access there. But I also do like how to build and launch your own coaching business. I have a workbook that's accessible. I have some for funeral professionals on how to take care of themselves and avoid compassion fatigue, and then what to say and what not to say. All of my courses that I offer, I do have an accredited certification in master grief coaching and also a life coaching certification program. Those you can find there. There's a link to all of my blog posts that you can find there. And if you want, if you're looking for just grief support or a space where you don't want to pay for anything, but you do want to learn more about grief, my Facebook page is probably the best, and it's under Terri Chaplin. That's probably the best place to find all of that. I share articles, like I've been published in the Memento Mori magazine. I think I have one coming out soon with the Independent Funeral Directors of Florida. But my blog posts, I have newsletter on LinkedIn. I do a lot of writing there, as another avenue to share knowledge and share information. But most everything can be found at myhealingheartscommunity.com.
That's awesome. Listeners, you'll have all of that in the show notes as well, so don't worry. If you missed any of that, you can also rewind and go back and listen to it again. But also, while you're at it, Terri, we, as mentioned before, Friends in Wild Places, we like to support a nonprofit every month. And so this month, we specifically want to support kitchentableconversations.org. I'd love for you just to share with the listeners a little bit more about that organization, how they can support that organization, and what that organization does for the community.
Sure. Well, I met Garrick Colwell. He's the founder of Kitchen Table Conversations. I met him through just doing connections on LinkedIn. But he's an amazing human being. So he's certified in grief work. Also, he works really closely with David Kessler and Dr. Alan Wolfelt. And he actually sits in for David Kessler sometimes on some of his trainings. But his nonprofit, Kitchen Table Conversations, it helps people with an array of different things, but advanced care planning webinars. And they do a lot of anticipatory grief training webinars. So everything is done virtually, so it's accessible to anyone, anywhere. A lot of stuff for end of life caregivers. So it's just a hub, nonprofit hub that puts on these webinars to provide grief support, helping people with end of life care planning. And it comes from Garrick's own personal lived experiences with loss and grief as well. But their work is beautiful. It's always heart led. And I think we share a little bit of the same mission to spread, the grief literacy, to help educate others about it, what you need to do as far as advanced care planning on his end. And then anticipatory grief is something that he specifically targets a lot of. And that's something that I talk a lot about too. That's for the caregivers that are taking care of a loved one who's been diagnosed with a terminal illness, or dementia patients, to just offer support and understanding, because a lot of times they don't even realize that what they're feeling is grief of any kind. They know they have these emotions, they know they have these feelings, and he really shines a light on that in such a beautiful way, and in such a bigger platform. So I love following him and seeing the work that they're doing. So I love that you're offering to support that organization. Mm-hmm. And just going to their website, anyone can sign up for the webinars if you see something that's of interest to you. And they also take donations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You heard it, listeners. We'll have all that information in the show notes, but please think seriously about it, and go and check it out online, and really take the time to try and support wherever possible, because that's what life's about. It's to lift up others and support others in their need and in their time of need. So I can't believe we've come to the end of the podcast so quickly, and trying to squash as much information in this amount of time can be challenging. So with that said, we've got into a little bit of a light-hearted section where we normally play a game, or we ask a light-hearted question. So today we're going to do the word association game, and I'm not sure if anyone out there that's listening, or Terri or Tanya, if you've played this game. I know Tanya's played it with us before, but if you don't know, you don't. Okay.
No.
Terry's shaking her head. Okay. Basically, we're going to start off with a word, and you have to. Then we're going to go around the room. So the order can be myself, Tanya, and Terri, and then back to me again, and we'll keep on going that way. You have to come up with a word that is similar to the word we start off with. So each player's word is associated with the word before, creating a chain of related words. The round can end after a predetermined number of terms when players run out of the words, or if they repeat a word or it takes too long. So 5 seconds, we got to quickly go around as fast as possible, try not to repeat the word, and as many words as possible associated with the word before that. Okay, we got it?
Yes. Shireen, I just actually want to just do a maybe 30-second just kind of debriefing, just kind of like a cleansing breath, just to kind of move into our lighthearted, if that's okay with you and Terri. So
yes.
I'm big on kind of debriefing after, such, heartfelt topics.
Oh, yeah.
And okay. Let's do a breathing for like 30 seconds. So
yes.
On the count of 3, I'm going to have you take a deep breath in. And hold it through your nose, and hold it for 5, 4, 3. Release if you want to through your mouth slowly. Don't hyperventilate. And we're going to do it one more time through your nose, in through your nose. As deep as you can go. Hold, hold, hold if you can, and then release through your mouth. And one more time, in through your nose. And out through your mouth, slowly, 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 slow as you can go. Okay, so that was 3 cleansing breaths. Okay, so I think we're well and grounded, feet on the ground. We can shake out the energy, and we're good to regroup with Shireen. So, okay, I think we got the instructions, Shireen. You're going to say a word, then I have to pick up with something associating with word, and then to Terri, and then back to you. And if we get stuck, it ends there. If not, we go for X amount of turns. Is that correct?
Right. And you can't take too long. So you go 5 seconds to answer. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. So the word is grief. Right? Word is grief. Go ahead, Tanya.
Love.
Sadness.
Nightmares.
Medication.
Loss.
Coffins.
Funeral
No.
home.
Anger.
Depression? Have we said that? Okay.
Therapy.
Guilt.
Butterflies?
Release.
Acceptance.
Oh. I can't think of a word. Sorry, guys. Okay.
Okay, that was good. That was good. It was like a
Butterflies
journey
threw me
through
off.
your-
I don't know why. Butterflies threw me off, and then I
Oh,
couldn't think
no.
of something, and then I got distracted. My brain went and did a brain fart. Has that ever happened to you? And then you've kind of like completely lost the person before you. Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
butterflies are a beautiful way to really, to capture strong emotions, to release emotions. So they're used in so many different arenas, So yeah, the
Yeah.
butterflies.
I don't know why.
And to show transformation and change. And
Yeah.
we've done 2 butterfly releases on the anniversary of Tyler's passing. So butterflies are a huge deal for us. And butterflies is one way that Tyler lets me know that he's here or nearby. So that could very well be. I'm going to take that as a sign that
Yes. Oh, yes. The word right.
that you said butterfly on purpose because it caught you so off guard. I love that. Yeah. I feel like that was intentional.
Yeah, I
Oh,
get
good.
the chills. Anytime there's like a real, like that's the chills come on. I know it's like the truth is being spoken. So
yeah.
And Terri,
Love it.
before we, part our ways today, I just want to, one thing that really resonated with me today in hearing your journey, and it's not the first time I've heard it, but every time I hear it, I take away something different. And I will say that what I took away today that was different was based on Shireen's question about being, it's a business, right? Like this is your work, it's your mission. You are doing a lot of things like a lot of our listeners out there, marketing yourself, trying to navigate. But what I really took away was your journey with your emotions of your loss is actually what propels you to go forward. Where I think so many business owners or workers in any capacity, whether you own your business or not, a lot of times we go to work to distract ourselves from our reality, right? So whatever's happening in the background of the noise or, personal losses and whatever's happening, we go to work to kind of, I don't want to say distract, but you leave that part home. Where yours, it's kind of like up close and personal, like you are walking, literally like walking the walk. It just, I don't know. It resonated differently when I asked Shireen pose the question to you, because, everybody can face, people that are asking, literally like odd questions, stupid questions, but you're there with your heart literally on your sleeve and having to navigate that also. So I really I admire your work so much and everything that you do, truly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I accept and receive all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Terri. And so, listeners, if you want to reach out to Terri in any way, shape, or form, or inspired by her story, or if you want to reach out to myself or Tanya, we're going to quickly, 3 seconds or less, go around the room quickly and just mention a few places that you can find us. So, Terri, where can someone find you if they want to get in touch with you personally or however?
You can find me at LinkedIn professionally, Terri Chaplin, Facebook, Terri Lynn Chaplin, or My Healing Hearts community. You can chat with me there. If you're curious or interested, you can schedule a free discovery call to talk about, whatever's on your heart and see if something that I can provide is a good fit for you.
Tanya, what about yourself?
All right. So for most of the listeners that do follow us, people know I don't have a TV, so I do spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. So that's a good hub for me. I kind of work in a tripod. So I oversee the program at Miami-Dade College for the funeral service education program. So anyone wanting a career change or thinking about a career, we do offer the college credit certificate and we offer the Associate of Science degree. So both are funeral related. The certificate is for Florida specific, and the AS pretty much is in the United States to become a funeral director. Also, I work in the legal realm as far as serving as an expert witness for funeral home and cemetery litigation cases. I get consulted quite regularly, and I've served many, many cases, have quite a few active ones right now. And last but not least, I do serve in the world of dementia or cognitive decline. I serve as a senior placement specialist, matching people with communities who can no longer support themselves, either physically or cognitively. So that is a free service. We get paid if we match a person with the right community. So no charge to use our services. Would welcome any conversation, and always available to collaborate, serve on a panel discussion, or be a guest speaker at any event that somebody may be having out there. So that's where to find me. And how about you, Shireen?
Oh, thank you. So yeah, you can find Shireen Buerta on most socials, as well as Shireen's Bookkeeping on most socials. Friends from Wild Places, as you heard, we are on YouTube if you want to see our faces and hear us, or you could just go on any of the streaming platforms and look up Friends from Wild Places. We are on all of them. Leave us a remark, a review. Let us know what you think. Subscribe if you want to subscribe just for $5 a month. We would really appreciate your support. But other than that brings us to the end. We hope that you enjoyed this time with myself, with Terri, and with Tanya. And we hope to see you next time. And remember, you got this, and stay wild. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Friends from Wild Places with Shireen Buerta. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast from the links to catch every episode and unleash your passion.